Good afternoon. Hello. I thought to come on here um, because I did an interview yesterday with Isiah Carey on his show, The Isiah Factor, and I wanted to come on here for a few minutes and share it. It was regarding the white woman who accused the young 5-year-old black boy of taking something out of her child's bag, and then she proceeded to call him the N-word. So I'm going to share um, a part of the interview that I did with Isiah, or actually all of it, because I wanted to put this out here so that um, people could understand, you know, my perspective about that situation and what happened, not just with the lady who was implicated, who called the young boy the N word, but to everyone else who then supported her GoFundMe campaign when she said that she was experiencing unsafety. Um, because those people were inspired um, to support her because she's a white woman, but they were also inspired because of the situation at hand and the little young black boy being called the N word. It was anti-Blackness and white supremacy that inspired them to then go on and support this woman's campaign. So um, I'm going to share a part of the interview right now, uh, or share the interview. And yeah, that'll be that.
For the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored, a woman in Minnesota has raised over $1 million asking for protection for her family after she went viral in a video where she admitted to calling an autistic black child the N-word. Her name is Shiloh Hendricks. She says her family has been in jeopardy since the video went public. As of tonight, that GoFundMe page is no longer available, so we're not sure what happened to the money, if she removed it or what. Here's the latest and the moment Hendricks was confronted on video.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, an N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech.
The question is this our America? My next guest is Dante King, author and human resource management consultant. He shares his take on this situation.
Make it make sense, Dante.
We're talking about an orientation, an anti-Black orientation that has been trained in, not only that this woman is inspired to act out this type of ill will and hatred toward this Black individual, but that she had support, that it inspired people to then contribute to her cause to protect her. And so we see the ongoing use and manipulative power that can be wielded by white women where a 5-year-old child is concerned, and that there is also trained into this society where Black people are concerned, a lack of empathy and compassion.
And really quick, Dante, before we go on, tell us what she accused the child of doing that prompted her to call him the N-word.
Well, she claimed or alleged that the child had taken something from her child's bag, her child's baby
Diaper bag.
Yeah, and yet that was not necessarily proven, or it was not a statement of fact. It was a statement of her perception. And so even if that was the case, though, we're talking about a 5-year-old child who innocently may have picked up something that they thought was engaging, that they wanted to potentially maybe play with, or they thought was interesting, and yet the impulse, the immediate impulse in this position is to go to anger. And so we have to understand too where the use of that N word is just where the use of that N word is placed in our culture, in our society, in the ways in which it's been programmed as a very hateful, derogatory term that we use, or that has been used rather, against African American people. That was the go-to for this woman. She went to anger. She didn't go to, oh, you want me to show you how to play with this toy? This was a child. No. So we have to understand that this is a very sustained, hateful orientation, corrupt and perverse psychological orientation that has been trained into white people in this country. And it has.
And would you say all white people or some white people? What?
I say in my book that we are all suffering from a collective psychosis, because from the founding of this country, and really from the entrance of European people into the Americas during the colonial period, we have been under the cultural domination, the institutional domination and control of people who have now, for centuries, characterized themselves as white. And so everything that we learn, everything that we believe is based on their cultural orientation, their social and sociological orientations. And we also, if you go back to the colonial period, if you read my book, I give dozens of examples where American institutions, even academic institutions, were leveraged to target Black people, even to the degree that Harvard, William and Mary College, Yale, Columbia, these institutions produced philosophies to prove Black inferiority, right? That we were inferior morally and intellectually. And so we have to understand that the anti-Black orientation has been trained into all of us, even including Black people. And I take that to task in my work. I think it's a problem that sits mostly with white people, because they juxtapose their entire identity against the fact that they are more superior than people who are characterized and labeled as Black. And as Toni Morrison put it, if you need another person to put down in order to feel a sense of value and worth, then something is seriously wrong. And so we have to contend with these realities and look at them deeper than just calling it out as racism or ignorance or hatred. This is psychopathological.
All right. Dante King, who is a human resources management consultant and author of the book, and you can see the book right there behind him. Always good to have you on the Factor Uncensored. Thank you for this latest assessment of racism in the country. We appreciate your time, sir.
Oh, all right. So that was my appearance on the Isiah Factor, and I do think that the fact that she was able to raise $600,000 now because she called this young Black boy the N-word. We have to understand the level of delight in the hatred, the level of delight in inhumanity and in an inhumane profile and orientation that would inspire um, thousands of people to then go and contribute to this woman's GoFundMe campaign. Yeah, this is very serious. So that's it. That's all, folks. I wanted to share. Um, there's just no shortage of evidence. There is no shortage of evidence about what Dr. Bobby Wright is saying. And I did not know that they left out that part of my interview, because I actually quoted Dr. Bobby Wright's work, his work around the psychopathic racial personality, which says that in their relationship with the Black race, whites are psychopaths, and their behavior represents an underlying biologically transmitted proclivity with roots deep in their evolutionary history. Dr. Wright goes on to say the psychopath is constantly in conflict with other persons and groups. They are just perpetually callous, has a lack of empathy, a lack of compassion, a total disregard for others. And one of the best methods that can be used to analyze the psychopathic traits of the white race, where Black people are concerned, is analyzing their universal, overt behaviors and attitudes towards Black people. And that's what I do in my work. I mean, the evidence laid bare is profound. the evidence is there. All you have to do is study and analyze for centuries, over the last 4 or 5 centuries, their universal attitudes and overt behaviors towards Black people to understand the level of psychopathy and sociopathy where white people are concerned in terms of their dispositions and attitudes towards Black people. And so they conveniently left that part of my interview out of the clip, and that's fine. But I wanted to make clear that, you know, my commentary and my perspective on this situation was much more expansive than what was shown during that 2 to 3 minute clip. So um, thank you all for those who have tuned in and are watching this. I see some of you on here with me, and I'm gonna log off. All right, take care.